Lead, Shinya Abe. The second, Yasumasa Tanida. Third, Tetsuro Shimizu. And the skip, Yuta Matsumura. Two-time defending world champions, Team Sweden. Lead, Christopher Sundgren. Second, Rasmus Rano. The third, Oscar Eriksson. And the skip, Nicholas Edin. As we take a look at these standings, you see all the cues indicate the playoff teams. RCF and Sweden on top at 10-2. United States on the ice also this afternoon at 9-3. Canada, Scotland, and Switzerland all have this draw off. They are waiting in the wings to see where the quarterfinal matchups settle. All the other teams playing for pride, including 6-6 Japan in our feature matchup. We're in it mathematically right up until this morning's draw, but didn't get the cooperation they needed from some of the other teams, but I'm sure they will bring their A game here against the two-time champs. As we look around the sheets, Italy taking on Netherlands on sheet A, also at 6-6. RCF, surprise of the event, 10-2, taking on 3-9 Denmark. United States at 9-3, taking on Korea. There is some playoff changes that could happen. We'll fill you in on that in a moment. And our feature game is on sheet D this afternoon. Mike Harris in the booth alongside my colleague Kevin Martin. And Kevin, the playoff picture cleared up nicely with this morning's draw. Talk maybe quickly about USA just before we get into this one. Team USA is on sheet C, and whether they win or lose will affect who they play in the quarterfinal matches. But Team Edin seem to be back to their old form with a spot guaranteed in the semifinal, looking to defend their title.
Yeah, it's a big game for Team Edin to keep the momentum going. This is not a game where you'd want to come out and play kind of a loose game and giving up a few extra deuces and points. You want to play this game very tight going into the semis.
Try to take it as a playoff game, almost a rehearsal for what's to come over the weekend. And Team Japan taking a glance at some of the cardboard cutouts that have been in place here for the curling events. See if they recognize anyone. I'm sure there's a number of actually a number of curlers in the crowd, and I'm sure a lot of the fans they've known over the years. But Yuta Matsumura and their team, very exciting team to watch. There they are. I'm sure there's a cat, bottom right. I don't know whose cat that is, but it's adds a little bit to the atmosphere in here. Of course, no spectators allowed at these championships, and those have been in place right since the first event of the bubble, the men's Canadian Championship. The Brier was held, gosh, 6 weeks ago now, I suppose. It's been a while anyway, and you have to give full credit to the World Curling Federation and Curling Canada for keeping this bubble intact, keeping all the athletes and us safe as well. You know, series, obviously a lot of testing going on and a lot of isolation. And there's a look. See the front row, the black and white crew there. That's Team Richardson, first four-time world champions. Nick Edin, also a four-time world champion, trying to become the first ever to win 5.
They're curling like a team that could do it right now.
They are. They seem to be we call a little bit off early in the week, but starting about Monday afternoon, they really seem to pick up their game and have been very, very sharp ever since. Yuta Matsumura loves putting rocks in play. Very good at the soft game. Struggles a little bit sometimes strategically, so we'll see how he handles Team Edin today. Team Sweden, I'm sure they will give them everything they can handle. Saw that draw to the button. Competition wrapping up, and it was Sweden who won the draw to the button, and it will be very close. Only a little less than 7 centimeters separating the two teams, so that will give Team Sweden the advantage of last rock. They are throwing the yellow stones, and lead Shinya Abe will be getting things underway for us here in end number 1. 41-year-old veteran. Also holds the broom when Yuta Matsumura throws his final skip stones. Let the young guys in the middle sweep.
Makes sense. Throwing a center guard to get this underway. As you're saying, Team Japan, they like to have lots of rocks in play. And so throwing a center guard, and away we go.
Christopher Sundgren, 31-year-old lead for Team Sweden. And when this team is firing on all cylinders, you could argue 4 of the best in the business on this team. They have all the shots. Nice touch. In the free guard zone 5 rock rule, you may hit your own stone, so this is a bit of an unusual call. No, we've got little technical malfunction.
So trying right on the nose.
I say you can remove your own stone, that's okay. Not allowed to remove your opponent's stone in the 5 rock rule. No penalty for losing their own stone there. Nice run back. Leeds don't play many run backs in the 5 rock rule.
No.
Only by mistake usually.
That was a good call though. There wasn't very much separation there. Makeable shot. Christopher Sundgren is going to want to be a little bit deeper in the house into the 8-foot circle, if possible. So somewhere between the 2 of them is exactly where they'd like it.
You and I did work this sheet this morning for our feature matchup, and just a ton of movement, particularly on this intern side.
Well, this one's going to have to move a lot.
Really walks over there now. Big finish. Shimizu trying to make this curl. And on the hog line in, that curled a good foot with hack weight. As we meet Rasmus Frano, 26-year-old second. Good throw. Well swept.
Tucked the corner underneath the guard, but this side curls so much the guard's hardly in play. Or you don't want it to be.
Very nice. In the round robin portion, these are the rules of play. 6 ends minimum required. 38 minutes of thinking time allocated to both teams, and each team is entitled to 1 60-second timeout. We have seen this team, Japan, get a little tight on time in a couple of their games. Tend to spend a lot of, have some lengthy discussions early in the game, and which comes back to haunt them later, typically.
Yeah, sometimes they spend a lot of time in the first 2-3 ends, and that that doesn't bode well. You want to get those first few ends kind of and save a little time.
Tetsuro Shimizu, Had a good week, really. Actually, the whole team has been very close. It's at 6-6 here in their last round robin game.
Yes.
Just really not a lot of separating these teams. It comes down to the smaller things, communication and strategy typically with some of the less experienced teams. Oscar Eriksson, another lefty. And for my money, Kevin, when you talk about Oscar Eriksson, maybe the most talented player in our sport, just absolutely a phenom. Is basically is won at every level. Makes it look easy.
And not just four-person curling either, also mixed doubles.
Yeah, world mixed doubles champion in the one time he played. 1-for-1. Had a decent partner in Olympic gold medalist Anna Hasselborg.
So I guess it does matter who you pick as your partner too.
Doesn't hurt. Not unlike our Canadian defending gold medal champions from Pyeongchang, John Morris and Caitlin Lazo, each had a gold medal going into that one as well. So mixed doubles competition in Beijing in about 10 months is going to be interesting.
So just not able to hold the line here. Looked pretty good about halfway down and then just finished a little bit strong and missed across the face. So now a really good chance for Sweden to try to bury a half of a rock. Not the whole thing, try to show half of each.
And that would not allow a hit and roll buried. Oscar Eriksson's intern.
Lite lång kanske. Bra fart. Inte för långt bara. Den ser ut att glida lätt den här. 8. Ser lång ut. Ja, ner emot. Försök få insida. Ja, liten dutt. Liten dutt. Ja, gå. Liten dutt. Ja, måste få avstånd nu. Mycket insida vi kan få. Okej så.
Well, did show half of each, but would have liked to have been a little higher in the house. Might have a go at the run back. It's hard to say. Well, sure, the double is there straight on without running it back. You may think it is.
Gonna try.
Gotta get very close to the guard.
So we had Oscar Eriksson is a lefty, and Yuta Matsumura also a left-handed thrower. Only 5 lefties in the field here this week. Tough shot to start here for young Skip, 31-year-old.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Yes, it.
Trying to make a curl.
Should have the one.
So that was better than the run back. The run back was also difficult, but tough to get both yellows out with that shot, though.
Yeah, well, the run back, of course, the worry is you might miss everything. Set up a 3. It's pretty easy to get one of them out with the called shot, but difficult for both.
Ja, mitt på linan, en sten kortare än den så. Ja. Då är det svårt att göra dubbeln och sticka. Topp 8 typ då? Ja, full 8 precis så bra. Mitt 8 också.
So Kevin, you've been in this position late in a round robin where you guarantee yourself a playoff spot. What is something that Team Edin would be focusing on here in this last round robin game?
I think that's a really good point. Focus, making sure you stay focused, knowing that this game doesn't really matter much. You can't think like that. You've got to go in and stay focused, keep the job at hand, curl high percentage, and then get ready for tomorrow.
Trying not to let this over curl, and you see the problem when it does happen to move too much. Now Matsumura can get inside and make the roll buried, maybe get out of trouble here. Still not easy. You have to become very close to that red guard and the one at the top of the rings, but he's got a chance now at least. Squeezing the broom out a little bit, probably a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want to rack on this one.
In turn, quiet weight hit.
Yeah, this will finish, no question, if the weight's right.
He's well out there at the moment. No danger of that getting to the guard. Probably safetied that a little wide.
Needs to get that rock out though.
My, that's a big mistake not getting that out of the rings.
Ja, det har väl inte gått någonting här ute förutom dragningarna.
Unforced error.
Borde vara helt okej, va? Det var bra spår fram till
He looks
fram till haket.
shocked that didn't get out. So bonus opportunity here for Dean. Looked like it was going to be 2 most of the end, but this is actually a hit for 3. Ideal start for the Swedish champions as they'll take 3 in the opening end. Jump out in front of Team Japan.
Han har så lite rotation. Ja, det är svårt att veta. Han kallar ju betydligt längre. Får de i rakfärran också. Det är väldigt många olika släpp. Det säger han inte hur han ska lira dem, utan han bara lira och sen kommer i efterhand. Ja, men jag ville lira så. Ja, okej. Ja, var det lätt skippat? Ja, nice ändå. Farten är helt perfekt på den första. Ja, tappar rotationen. Det är bara att vi behöver gå lite på den. Ja. Men den känns ju inte lika lätt uppåt dit. Den känns i alla fall. Det känns som de har jobbat med banan. Hoppas att de har gjort samma med alla. Så 4. Japp. Borde vara helt okej.
Second in underway.
Bra.
Surprising miss there, Kevin, from Matsumura. Just light.
Yeah, straight light. There's no reason to take such a risk.
We're almost guaranteed to give up 2 there, so that's unforced error is kind of an understatement.
Nej, men ja. Ni tar. That's good. Ta. Nej, men ja.
As this rock comes to rest, let's have a look at Team RCF. Without question, the surprise of the tournament, taking on Denmark here in the first end.
This is a chance for a few here for Denmark. If they can hit this guard right on the nose. That red would have left, but that was for 3 or 4, that raise. But doesn't make it, so a steal of 1 for RCF.
There's Sergei Glukov, just the all-star skip for me this week, Kevin. Just been absolutely phenomenal. And earlier in the week I was commenting that I didn't really know Sergei very well, and I got a text from my daughter. She goes, Sergei Glukov, I know him. He's thrown the best shot ever in the World Junior Curling Championship. They did a poll of all the best online shots, and Sergei, so look it up if you have a chance on YouTube, but he makes this unbelievable split for 2 at the World Juniors. So my kid knew exactly who he was, and certainly he's living up to the billing of that fantastic shot he made at the juniors. So just a talent, clearly. Team Japan trying to freeze, didn't make the move it needed. Weight wasn't bad.
No, ends up setting up a bit of a pocket though, so Team Sweden will try to lob a draw right in between those 2 stones.
Som är tid. Känns lite lång. Ja, lite lång. 10 bak 4.
Ser okej ut i curlen.
Han tappar en del. Kan gå runt, greppa.
Kommer rätt bra nu.
Okej, topp 4. Linjen kommer nu också. Tappar en hel del. Ogge kan vara med. Fortfarande lite. Det är bra linje. Bra linje.
Behöver inte curla.
Jag vill inte curla, nej.
Now the weight's good, the watch just walk right in.
Right in the pocket.
Ideal as we see Freddie Lindbergh there, Team Adine coach, former teammate as well. World champion in his own right. And there's Maria Pritz far left. She runs the Swedish High Performance Program. She won a silver medal in Sochi. So a very accomplished bench.
Strong bench.
Yes. Yes. Fling. Yes.
Yasumasa Tanida with the out turn.
Yes. 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 Yes.
That was well swept. A little unfortunate that he didn't hit that a little thinner. Would have saved his back red.
Yeah, the call was actually to hit and roll behind the corner. So over curled.
Ja, jag tror det. Den är bara några cent högre än
Ursel, Team Japan coach, has worked with this team for 3 seasons. Many Canadian curling fans would know Bob Ursel from his prior appearances out of British Columbia and former World Junior champion back in the early 90s.
Okej, fart! Rent! Okej.
Bobby's been fun to watch this week with this young team. Making a few strategic errors. So I texted him earlier today, so we were watching you react to some of the calls, and he sent me a note saying just he forgets how young and inexperienced the team is sometimes, and
you have to have a Bob Ursel cam.
just assumes that they're going to make the right choice all the time, and most of the time they do. To be fair, I mean, Yuta Matsumura is an excellent skip and a very good player. But Bob's been fun to watch back there. Nice run back. Trying to get out of trouble here now for Team Japan. That helps a little.
Yeah, moved everything out from underneath the guard.
We'll allow a double on those 2 stones
Man
that
undrar,
are
känns
still
som
in
man behöver ha
play.
gömd, för när de slår den där dubbeln så måste vi nästan ha den gömd där. Ja, går det splitta upp det där någonting eller tappa? Eller är det för svårt? Bak 12 men köp!
Hack till och med.
Hack till och med. Ja, vi kan ju inte försöka spela dubbel på garden också, men alltså bara klipper vi cornern så där är ju... Ja, då.
Looking at tapping that wide yellow with
Jag gillar nog rundningen ändå.
weight to get them spread
Även
out.
om man gör den här bra, så den här kommer ju leta sig mot cornern. Det känns ju sådär.
It's either that or the straight come around to the top button. I like to come around. That's what Nick's decided to do. And just make sure you're deep enough that a nose hit on the yellow and the 12-foot doesn't collide with the rock Oscar's shooting right now.
Wouldn't allow a triple.
Right, no triple. We saw Oscar switch rocks, so he must feel this is the better one for this particular shot. Probably curls a little more than his other.
Känns som vi kan hålla igång lite. Ja, 0-1.
Lite vidare än alldeles tiddragning.
Fred Lundberg's
Okay.
been out quite often in the evening with Maria Pritz and their alternate to throw rocks and match stones. And
Topp 4.
Faktiskt väldigt lätt.
With that group, I wonder who does the throwing.
they're all good.
They're all good. Yeah. This is not curling enough to bury.
Teams do come out in the evening and try to match stones for the next day's play. Utah taking a quick look at the double, whether it does make contact, but that's a pretty good result there if they can roll buried behind those two yellows.
こっちウェイトちょっと上げないとこれがここに残っちゃうからっていう感じ。8秒か9秒かでいけない。
Basically has two choices. Make the double and roll behind the corner, or play the come around bump and roll behind the two yellows. Two choices, and playing the double and roll.
That ice looks like they're throwing a lot of weight here as well. Tetsuro Shimizu. He's had some great games this week. Does jam.
Tia.
And actually leaves that yellow slightly more buried now in the edge of the
10.
forefoot.
Ja, nästan normal.
Nästan
They're trying to roll
normal.
this to the center line.
Japp, japp.
Kind of
Normal. Japp, japp, japp.
starting to move.
Kör. Nej.
Touched it a little bit.
Rasmus just touched that rock as it was rolling a little bit with his broom by accident.
9-7 på det.
Han har glidit.
Quiet weight tap. I think it's the call.
Hey, it's the right weight. Can maybe even get underneath the guard. Back line.
Line's good. Line's good. Yes.
Gotta go here. Get by.
Yes.
Just diving towards the guard. Just underthrown a little.
14.
Roll to a tricky spot
Det är
though.
lite lurig att få ut.
Hard to get at.
It
Ja,
is.
alltså min första tanke var bara runda här, men det är ju risk att han får klykan. Men då
Klicka och så kanske han ligger där, då är det lite jobbigt.
det andra är ju bara att sätta ner den här.
Ja, jag funderar faktiskt på det.
3-point lead. Nick's gonna play the angle
Jag gjorde
raise.
Försöka få den där
Definitely
lite tunn halv så den kan, ja precis,
call.
Precis,
skapa
bara
in via
skava in här. Ja.
Den som 45 då eller något.
It's funny how they look at things. You know, they're looking at playing the angle raise. Try to hit half, and then you saw Oscar indicate if we go over, we can maybe tap our own stone even further buried. So
Ja, strax
let's talk
under
about
en
that
halv.
precision of
45 är
trying
bra.
to
Ja.
bring that level up for the playoffs.
Drar en sån is.
Lite extra.
Japp.
Låga 6.
Wow. Japp. Hårt.
Like that.
Fint.
Exactly like that.
Very nice. Nowhere to hide against Nicholas Sedin. So they're going to play the out-turn bump, Kevin. Best they can do here is second shot, but it would be difficult for Adine to move it. This is the theory. Need to bump this yellow just out of the forefoot and stay
And then hope you have a shot on your
partially buried.
last.
Yeah.
Yeah, the concern here is if it doesn't curl enough, you jam it.
Roll open. And
Yikes.
backline tap.
Green.
Line looks good.
No, just have enough weight.
Let's go over to sheet A. Looks rather messy over there, Kevin. Netherlands taking on Italy. Italy's hopes of the playoffs disappeared this morning with Switzerland winning. So coming out for their second game of the day against Netherlands.
I'm trying to hit and roll here. That red stone they're hitting and rolling off of was actually the Netherlands skip's last, trying to freeze. Didn't curl enough and actually made the shot easier for Team Italy. And made no mistake, it's 2.
That kind of week for Netherlands. Trying to get their 3rd win here in our last round robin game.
Bra fart.
And as you mentioned, Kevin, with that rock just bouncing open a little bit. Nicodine, real opportunity here to put a ton of pressure on. Just didn't quite roll far enough. Was hoping to roll another 8 inches or so and
block the tap. So now there is an intern tap right on the nose, or try to get to the inside a little. The lefty out turn. Yuta's out turn. Right there.
indicating a little bit more weight than draw weight. Either you played a straight draw or this. I think one of the two. So
I like this way the ice curl's so nice in this spot.
yeah, just commit to one or the other. That's the key to making just about any shot, really. Don't want to have two thoughts in your mind in the hack. Last rock of the second end. It's a tough one for Team Japan. Throwing against three here.
Nice straight throw. As long as it's, the weight's right, so it takes the curl. Hog line in. Yeah, very nice. Good shot.
Yeah, very well managed by the sweepers, and no mistake by Matsumura. But he'll be down 2 as they head to end number 3.
Ja, jag tycker man tappar mycket fart i sliden.
Det är som sopningen också kanske inte blir lika effektiv liksom när ytan är sådär, så känns det inte som att man kan.
Det känns lite frostplatt liksom.
Ja, håller med. Speciellt på dragningar så känner man att, till och med jag kände det, jag har inte känt nästan innan någon gång att jag behövt lägga till mer. Men nu kände jag direkt att jag tappar fart.
Ja. Jag tycker jag kommer ut i rätt bra fart och sen inget knä i, försöka hela vägen. Så ändå kort på en nolla liksom, 0,5.
Takarna också.
En tiondel på klockan.
Det är så stor skillnad på de som är liksom uppsopat spår. Typ som den här outen nu känns som det går väldigt rakt. Men går man en fot eller två vidare känns som det är mer curl på en hårdare fart.
Ja.
Line way off. Line's good. ちょっと曲げかな。ちょい曲げながら。
Nice shot there from Matsumura as they managed to avoid a big steal. Could have been a disastrous start. 3-1 here as the Dean has the hammer. And then number 3.
Ja, den är bra.
20. Ja, 11.
Linjen är bra. Bra linje. Nästan lite åt det vida hållet. Men ja, det känns lite vid. Lite vid. Det kommer fint.
Känns lite vid.
Halva 4.
Bara vänta.
Och garen.
Halva 4.
Det ligger bra.
Ja, den är perfekt. Fint.
Nice weight there from Sundgren. Right on the top forefoot. Exactly where you'd like it.
And because it's deeper in the rings, no choice but to freeze. No turn freeze.
はいいよちょっと待ってるかいちょっと待ってるかい
ゴーロック。
ちょっと外目
オッケー、ゴ
おやせ
ー。ちょっとギリだ。
Not getting this second stone to curl enough here. As we look at the other game with playoff implications, this is last stone for Korea taking on the United States. It's a shot for 2.
Yeah, John Schuster in his last actually just rolled a little bit too far to the right as we see it. So has left this shot available. Just off nose. Oh, nice weight control. Good shot. It's 2.
Very good. So I said all the teams are decided for the playoffs. If John Schuster wins, he'll be ranked number 3. We'll have the hammer in his quarterfinal matchup and would take on Switzerland. The important part of that equation is the hammer. If he loses, he'll drop into a tie with Canada and Scotland, and he would play Scotland actually in the quarterfinals without hammer. So big game.
Big deal.
in the USA.
グリーン。
おちょっと幅あるよ
グリーン。ライン大丈夫。
ウェイトは
Freeze this to the inside.
Yes
Well, this is really
当たりよ。
moving nicely.
グリーングリーングリーン
Good shot. That's just the right spot.
何秒？
14.3
Kunna tänka med den. Ja. Okej. 7 kanske, så händer inte jättemycket där bak. Tunn halv. Ja.
Throwing it hard.
En vanlig clearing så gäller
Should get rid of
det.
both reds and the back
Extra,
yellow.
okej.
The second yellow will likely stay, I think. Throwing a little bit of heat on this, I imagine.
This has a lot to do with the spin on the stones.
En halv. Ja.
Trying to hit about a half.
Ja, den ligger bra. Den ligger bra. Bra liv.
Stanna båda.
Nice. Ja, mycket bra. Nice. Har ni?
It's a 5.8 second hog-to-hog time. We saw 5:47 from Benoit Schwartz earlier today, and that was released to contact, under 5 seconds hog-to-hog. So I think Rasmus has got a little more in the tank yet.
Oh, lots more in the tank. Yeah, that wasn't. Didn't need to throw that very hard. Just the way the angles were set up, it was quite easy to remove the.
I like how
reds.
you say you didn't have to throw that very hard. Most club curlers couldn't get anywhere near 5.7 seconds hog-to-hog. Just a walk in the park for Rasmus.
That was kind of just a smooth peel. Wait for him.
That is the one thing, you know, that when I speak to club curlers, they're amazed by 2 things. One is the speed at which the rocks are thrown, and the other is the power of the sweepers. Just can't get over how good the sweepers are and how far they can carry a rock, a draw, or even make it move. In the last few years, how much they can make it curl or keep it straight.
Right, it's basically being able to stay in a position like Oscar is. It's the core strength that's necessary to be a good sweeper,
Ja, bra spel.
or to be a great sweeper.
Han kommer ut. Väldigt bra.
The nice thing for top curlers, and I think you can speak to this a little bit, Kevin, like over the years, way back, it was, you know, the touch game became so important where the ability to make the run backs was the hard part of the game. Now everyone can seem to be able to make the big run backs, and the draw seems to be the one that if they're going to get a miss, might be there. But the sweepers now make it. You have this window now to throw through. It simplifies all the shots. As you see a rock there take off for Shimizu. Surprising miss. Just underthrown a couple rocks here Team Japan has in the first 3 ends.
They've just taken off on them, yes. A huge opportunity now, up 3-1 with Hammer and splitting the house to sit 3.
You saw the position of Oscar sweeping. The other guy I like to watch sweep is Rasmus Rana. He gets right up onto his toes to sweep, on a hit. So we'll keep an eye on that on any of the big weight shots. He's the front sweeper this time, but when they throw the other turn and he has the rock, it's fascinating to watch him sweep also. I had a nice chat with Pea Lindholm about a year ago now, and I asked him about Vrana. When he came onto the team, Pea said, what do you hope to accomplish? He goes, I want to become the best sweeper in the world. That was his #1 goal.
Hard to argue.
Works very hard at it.
He's certainly up in the top of the sweeping game in the world, definitely.
And interesting with him, he doesn't have the size of some of the bigger sweepers. You look at Botcher's team with your son and Thiessen at front end. They're both about 6'4", weigh 230. Rasmus not nearly as big physically, but his technique is excellent.
Yes.
Trying for the double and roll. Can they spin that out? Just not quite again.
One of those almost.
Vilka inåt någonstans? 11? Ja. Var lite till. Bra. Rent. 11. Rent. 11. Ja.
Trying to roll this towards the center line, but not buried.
11-0. Ingen mick. Eller vicka. Okej, så 11-0.
So that's behind the guard. Kind of sets up for a freeze. You almost have to take the freeze on this shot.
Even if you bump it a little and create a pocket back there, may eliminate a huge end. Still in it for a couple. They are going to play the freeze. It's the right call. Coach Bob Ursel nodding in approval in the background there. Is it the Bob Cam?
Yeah, the Bob Cam, yeah. They were talking about hitting and rolling off that front one, but the problem is if you were to not make it, Sweden comes around and you're on the hook for 3 or 4.
Saw the sweepers looking up at the big board there. That's a feature at this event and throughout the bubble, that they can look up and see what the situation's at the far end. There's sheet D right there. There's the overhead. So the sweepers know they need to get it to the back 8 foot to make the freeze properly. Might see that stick around in the future. A couple of those World Cup events, they had screens at both ends, so the sweepers could see what the situation is.
Well, the line looks really good on this one.
Yeah, the line's great if they can get the weight right.
That's very good. Locked right on it.
Well swept by Oscar Eriksson. Lock it on.
Locked it right on.
Det går ju säkert att komma åt den, men jag vet inte om man kan få ut den.
Nej, det är väl att vi kan bygga upp för ett storbo, men ja. Gör den och så rundar han här istället. Så. Ja, jag gillar rundningen. Kan 12 är bra.
So do you go top 4 or do you try to unlock those, Kevin, if you're
Ja, det
Team
där
Dean?
på den. Ja, jag gillar
Up to-
kant-12 då. Den kom dit
I would say
och-
come around to
Ja,
the top
frågan om
4.
det är en bra plats att hamna där dock, för då kan han
I don't
inte
think
riktigt slå
Team
den. Då är
Japan
det
cannot
vinkeln ner
afford to
mot.
run anything back. Could be disastrous.
If they touch anything behind, yes.
So if this is well made,
Ifall han ska slå
what
den
do
då
you do
eller
to
något där för
stop
att lägga 2,
Sweden
då
from
måste han
getting 2
ditåt. Då
points?
kan man få en slash för 3. Ja. Absolut.
Visa högersidan då kan vi
Ja.
aldrig komma åt den. Då är det köpa fett.
Mitt bakom garden, kallar den över lite så är det
Vilket är
där
okej i
då.
och för sig.
Ja. Deras är full 8. Ja, bite 4 är väl optimalt.
Är den för hög så vill vi ju bara ligga mitt bakom så han inte rundar den liksom. Men kan vi kalla över lite grann och visa halva? Och
Ja,
jäkligt
vi
svårt,
fattar.
va?
Samma fart där.
Team Sweden, first skip rocks here in 3.
Okej, linje. Är du farten?
Helst inget.
Kan eka den då.
Känns 10.
Bara eka
Topp
den
4.
då.
Nej, 10.
Linjen är, behöver curla
10
också.
bak 4. Nästan emot.
14-3. Bara eka den va?
Nej, eka fast nu.
Jag curlar lite dock för att vara
Tappa,
gömd. Men...
tappa.
Try to
Nej,
be in
nej, nej,
the
nej, det behöver den inte.
full 4 foot.
Bättre att få
Okej.
störning.
Ja.
Pretty good, about just a few inches deeper than Nick would have liked in a perfect world, but pretty good. Even if this freeze is made, there will be a draw for 2, which was the intent of this call.
Yeah, perfect world. He probably would like to have that stop a foot sooner, but it's not bad there.
I have the whole side of the button to draw to if this is made. No, that doesn't. It's not
The whole side of the button?
the whole side.
Well, again, with sweepers like they've got here on Team Sweden, there's a bit of a window for Nick to throw that through. We've got probably a 6 or 7 foot window. As we watch Matsumura's final stone here in 3. Needs a good one. Cut down to scoring area.
ちょっと待ってと。6まで。7。
7.
オッケー。おお。
7.
おお。
Rocket.
おお。まだ外まだ外。
いい感じよ。
ライム悪くはないよ。もうちょいだ。
外
上げれるか。ちょっと。
ギリギリギリギリ
当たってんだったら O だな。O だな。O だな。できるだけ前とみたいわ。もう。はめたくはない。最後ここまで。やっやっやっやっやっやっやっ。
Good shot.
Very good.
Okej, ja visst. Det känns som att den sidan är rätt trög.
Ja, jag tror det.
Question of which turn they'd like to throw. And
Ungefär samma som förra, om man kan hålla igång den.
you saw
är ju helt okej.
Oscar
Där
Eriksson
hade vi
yell
väl
down to the
exakt
sweepers
samma,
asking
eller?
which side they like.
5 centi till bara.
Which side do they know the weight the best? So
Right.
they're going to play the out-turn side here.
The intern side's obviously a little more natural because of how the
Men
rocks
vi
are
drog min
frozen
neråt.
in the
Den andra
4-foot
sidan
circle, but
4, den gick väl ändå
if you don't know
hyfsat
the
lik
weight
fart.
out there,
Ja.
More of a guess.
14-3.
Om jag spelar exakt likadant som förra.
Ja, det borde vara bra.
Det var bra, tror jag.
Då håller rallen ner lite.
Tricky shot for 2 here for Team Sweden.
81 va?
And their last here in the 3rd.
Känns lite lång.
Ja, vänta, vi kan vänta. Den är lång. Jävligt rakt.
Men hård.
it's got a little,
Nu börjar
plenty
den
of
kalla.
weight.
Ja, jag är med.
Rasmus
Ingen
ready
är
to
bra
go
nu.
Behöver inte
in
gå
a
än.
moment's notice.
Innan mitt på 10 så har vi 2.
Line's pretty good.
13-8.
Once they start sweeping it, I think you know you're in trouble if you're Japan.
Sopar den för långt.
What a great eye on the sweepers.
Great shot.
Du gäller.
2 yellow. He had the whole side of the button to draw to, Kevin, and made no mistake. Team Sweden ahead and in control, 5-1 after 3.
bra.
Så är det lite slide. Men. Helt okej, helt okej. Bra linje.
Bra linje.
Fourth end of action here at the BKT Tire. It's an OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021 from Calgary, Canada.
Kom igen.
Fortfarande läsa.
Team Sweden in full flight here in our feature matchup.
Varsågod.
Take 3, give them 1.
Ja, den är på den.
Take 2.
Jag hade 0, men och hade 15.
And gearing up for playoff run to defend their championship, trying to become the first team to win 3 in a row.
Där är jag. Nice.
Japan needs to climb back slowly in this one. Try to get 2 right back here in the fourth end. As we see Christopher Sundgren, 92 for the week. Very impressive. Not surprising, though.
No. Terrific curler.
Linjen är bra. Lite tight.
That's a big number, though. 92 for the whole week.
Topplock. Ja,
Strong.
lite tight. Ja.
Tio själv nu.
Perfekt nu. Snyggt.
Nice.
Bra, mycket bra.
Mycket bra.
Shinyabe, also good, 88. And I said Japan's been close here, 6-6. Really just 1 game out of the playoff hunt. But they were down early, trying to chase. As we check in on RCF and Denmark. It is Glukov with his last.
Yeah, the Yellowstone completely buried in the back 4 foot, so not much other than a draw with backing.
Очень широко идет. Сейчас пойдет валить.
Lite vidare klippas de här. Nära 12.
Полностью в 4 надо, rебят. Linjen широко.
Tror den är
This
lugn
one
för
is,
cornern. Den är fortfarande vid.
This one's out there. It's got a little bit of extra speed on it. Sure,
Kommer
that's.
fint nu. Kommer fint nu. Fortfarande lite vid känns som. Ja, det känns vid. Oskar
I don't
behöver
see
dra.
many of those this week. He's a little bit big, gives it the steal.
2-1 Denmark after 3.
Ready?
So let's check in on Team USA. So they would love to win to secure the hammer in their quarterfinal matchup.
And this was a split house for a long time, and John on his first one went to the open side. Ended up rolling out Team Korea on their hit, so this is just a draw to the rings for 2 points and back in the lead. This line is really tight though, so you're getting into the heavier ice. You're gonna have to drag this thing a little bit to get it there.
Just enough. Did it to you again.
Just enough.
Little soft. Ja. Bara peta till den.
Man kan gå på den. Ja. Kan man spinna
talking
lite
about his
neråt är väl det
release
bästa. Tjock tredjedel för det.
Since the rocks were touched up a couple of nights ago, so we've seen so many rocks overcurl.
Handträffen gör den.
Jag tyckte han så tunn.
And
Ja.
just changes your mentality a little bit. Early in the week when it was straighter, if you actually did move the rock back, we saw quite a number of rocks fly by the wide side. The last couple of days, it's been the opposite.
Whoa, yep, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Rasmus Rana with the double peel. Tried to spin that into the rings. Still a pretty good result.
Yeah, guarded shot stone a little bit.
Gå.
最後ね、ちょっと曲げて、まだ隠れてないんだ。
Line looks good here.
まだ隠れてない。はい、いいよ。
Very nicely done.
15.8。15.8.
Ligger dock för att komma för en dubbel sen. Inte skjuta. Nej.
So just playing the peel.
Vanlig clearing.
89 for the week for Oscar. Gets them all moving, except for shot stone. You won't be unhappy with that.
Not with a 4-point lead. No, it gets rid of all the guards and all the potential of giving up any more than 2.
Tetsuro Shimizu at 82 for the week. Also quite a good number. He's had a couple of excellent games. High 90s a couple of times, and so inconsistency, I would say, would be the biggest challenge with Team Japan this week. They've looked very good at times and struggled others. That guard over curl just a little bit. Chance for Eriksson to tap it out.
Can't see much of it though. Maybe just a sliver. The tolerance here is if it's a little tight and you wick the guard off, that's okay. Just cleaning it all the way down the sheet. Made that look easy.
He almost missed it. Never, there was never a doubt. Clean, 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 clean.
All the way down the sheet.
Very nice. Try one more time to get one buried here. Pulling out all the stops, try to get 2. Very nice.
That's completely underneath.
Nej, helium eller?
Ja, precis. Kanske har en halv centi.
Den är lite högre också då.
Precis helium skulle jag säga.
Alltså den går ju att komma, smiter så går den ju absolut.
Maybe 4 or 5 centimeters deeper.
Så det är risk att den ändå stannar där. Liksom.
Alternativet är att dra en andra sten här.
Ja.
Sätta han floppen.
Då
Drar vi här.
Ja.
Perhaps.
Floppa han hitåt. Eller han slår på den här.
Ja, jag gillar det. Full 8 där då typ.
Ja, i alla fall.
Bra
Lite längre kan vi försöka våga
I don't
lägga
know how you could play that tap. It's over buried. And the run back's dangerous because if you hit it either way,
you could actually leave both reds in
knappt
play. I think.
ifrån så.
You hit it wrong.
Den här är 5 centi framför 10. Så optimalt är
I
väl
agree
här.
with this call. Split the house.
Lite framför 10 då.
Lite framför 10.
Halv även här.
Var det så du vill ha?
So trying to get to, you saw where Oscar Eriksson tapped his broom, so just short of the tee line, splitting the 8-foot and the 12-foot circle.
Typ som den där 0 som jag la första hit då.
Ja.
14,5 borde vara.
Det har ju gått lite lättare åt kanterna, det är ingen sån tendens nu eller?
Alltså, det är först när man kommer närmare linan känns det så.
Okay.
Jag skulle säga att det är 0,4 sekunder lättare, eller 0,3 lättare än in mot mitten.
Ja.
Team Edin, excuse me, Nicholas Edin himself, 84 for the week. A little down numbers for Nick. He was he struggled himself first 4 or 5 games, but really has brought up his numbers second half of the week.
Kan till och med curla om ni har chans.
Yeah, it's basically been the tale of 2 different skippers the first half and now the second half.
I would say that was within a quarter of an inch of where Oscar Eriksson had tapped his broom.
Now there's no double.
11秒か角度的には。そうだね。内側で。行ってもいい？11で半分。こっちからの方がいいのか。滑るか
Trying
ら
to roll behind that yellow, are they?
Could even just nose hit this
You'd have a double
on your last. Nose hit, and then no matter what Nick does, he'd have to hit it and wouldn't have anywhere to roll to that wouldn't give you a double.
横にロール？あ、そう、あっちの後ろ。
Problem with this is if you only roll, say, halfway, Nick rolls back to halfway and you've got no double.
So either nose it or roll all the way over to the yellow. One of the two.
Or one of the two.
Don't get caught in the middle. Yuta Matsumura for the week, 78%. Same comment as for the rest of the team, actually. They have moments of greatness and others where they've struggled a little bit. Pretty good.
Yeah, really good roll.
はいよ、10点いけ。
Den här kommer ligga lite bakom mitt på 10.
Ja. Det är som att spela en normal. Försöka vicka hit.
So you see the roll attempt for Dean. They
Optimala
try to roll
helgen,
right to the
Ja.
right side behind that red one
Ja,
now.
vi vickar någonstans här åtminstone.
It's
Ja, så gör
doable.
vi kan. Ja. Då är det
Again,
riktigt
no
svårt.
double would
Drar
be
en curl
available.
så är väl chappen rätt nära och får den andra
That was a
spridningen.
nice roll, though. This is a tough shot. Making your opponent play a very difficult shot to save.
Ja, säg att vi vickar dit, ja. Då borde inte den röra sig mycket alls. Ja. Det är också okej. Det är som alla vickar. Det är väl typ vicka hit, väl den rimligaste, men... Ja.
Vilken fart?
Normal.
Ja. Gick det bra?
Ja.
Normal.
Final rock for Team Sweden here in number 4. Japan with the hammer, trying to get some separation.
Hårt! Hårt! Hårt, hårt, hårt! Kom igen, fortsätt!
Mycket bra.
Could not have walked it down any better.
Spann ner.
There's no double.
Ja, han fick nog det.
Frustrating person to curl against when he's rolling like this.
Nästan omöjligt att helt undvika. Vi kan lite kortare och ha någon andra istället.
And they're looking at the double. I just don't. I don't see it. Do you, Kevin?
Wow. Well, lots of spin, I suppose,
Lots of spin, lots of weight.
and have it jump almost straight across. I suppose it's doable. But you're gonna have to have some really good speed on this.
Matsumura with a very difficult one for 2. He's going to take it on. Lots of speed, lots of rotation.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Curling early.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Just glanced it. Had to keep it a little straighter, but that will be a steal for Team Sweden. They keep that a fraction straighter. They would have caught a little more of that stone at the edge of the 8-foot and was there for 2.
Yes! Yes!
Not to be. 6-1. Team Sweden leads after 4 ends.
Träffsäkra ettan och så spinner den av lite hårdare så man kan få mer effekt.
RCF with 3 over there.
precis.
14-2 typ.
Ja.
Ja, den är rätt bra.
Bite lock är bra.
Fifth end underway. It's been all Sweden so far.
Där la den.
Känns topp 4.
6-1 lead. Christopher Sundgren.
Där la den.
Team Sweden lead will be bringing us into the rings.
Bra. Fint.
Natsunura and Team Japan will throw the corner guard.
Yeah, we'll have to probably use 2 corners and try to get at least 2, but hopefully even 3.
Line's good. Nej men ja. Line's good. 16.8. Nice.
Ser lugnt ut med corner va? Ja, ta borta. Plats.
Lite mindre framåt.
Ja, bra linje. Plats.
Topp 12.
12-8.
Bra linje.
Okej linje.
Bra linje.
Sundgren bringing another one into the rings here.
Corner lugn. Helt eran.
Bra fart.
Suspect another corner guard from
Bra linje nu.
Japan on their next. We
Där är
check in on RCF and they're back in the 4th end.
Well, they are. You see that red stone that's around the center? That was the third's last one. And actually nose hit a stone that was buried there. And then a beautiful come around made by Denmark. Hit and roll behind the corner guard. 2. And now the shot for 3. Just terrific curling by RCF. Will hang on at the back. So big 3 to take a lead, 4-2.
Я тоже не понимаю, честно говоря. Щит, пиздец. Если бы надо было в 4 фута привести, мы бы сейчас проебали.
Back on sheet D here, and as suspected, another corner guard goes up for
Linjen är bra. Samma linje som Krippas andra.
Japan. Sweden will come into the
Ja,
rings and
den hänger.
let the hits
Ja,
begin
den är vidare,
for Team
Krippas.
Sweden. I
Kom
think,
borta.
up 5, you think they'd start peeling some rocks.
Ja, kör Krippas, kör. Får
On
den
their
runt den här
next.
så vi inte lägger upp en soffa. Japp, järnet linje.
Japan just got to try to keep their rocks in play.
Okej.
Pocket freeze in too.
Bra snack på farten, det var inte lätt att göra så mycket.
Nej, får vi garda då kanske? Eller slå gardarna?
Gå!
There's a live look in on sheet C.
좀 더 잡을까? 아니요 한글샷 똑같이 갈게요 그냥 그게 나을 것 같아.
Korea throwing yellow stones. Looking at some sort of quiet way tap here to get 2. Going to be tricky.
Yeah, they're looking at 2 different shots. There's this out-turn tap, also the thin in-off hit. And they're sort of going back and forth between the 2 shots. Deciding on the tap, trying to tap the red. And sneak in for 2. It's close, really close. Don't want to roll too far, just rolls a little bit too far. Single point. Tie game, 3-3.
Another team struggling this week, but big win against Canada. Almost derailed Team Botcher's opportunity to make the playoffs. Put a little added pressure on the Canadians.
Lite upp mot stenen eller? Lite upp mot stenen eller?
Good peel there from Sweden. That red stone in play for Japan is very vulnerable. So try to improve the freeze here. You've got to get right into the pocket.
This is curling over towards the other red. No, set up a double here.
He's going to get by.
That's just fine. Good shot. Right in there, nestled right in.
Challenge for Japan now, down to third stones. With that freeze in the pocket, there's no chance to get at shot stone for, or to be shot stone for a couple of rocks. Dean looking at just peeling the top one off. Oh, he's going to run it into the red at the top of the rings.
And spin it off. Get rid of that pocket.
Well, I was wrong earlier today when we saw a shot from Team Switzerland. Didn't think they could get a rock out of play. I'm going to say this time that middle red won't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Benoit Shorts threw an absolute missile down there and removed two stones that we didn't think would move. And there is a big error from Oscar Eriksson. Hit that on the nose. Was trying to hit the red first, and instead gets rid of one of his own rocks. Matsumura, okay, now what? Didn't expect that.
Hadn't calculated that possibility.
Trying to hit this on the outside and go red to red. Went red onto yellow instead. And all of a sudden Japan may have a chance. Going wide around here, Kevin, on third's first stones.
Yeah, I like this call.
Yeah, no way to, well, hard to get those reds out that are there now. Shimizu can get this to the back 8 foot somewhere, get it buried.
Line's good. Green, yes. Green.
Line looks good.
Line's good. Whoa. Okay.
Well, 3 reds in play now where it's difficult to be dealt with. Get the red on the left first on this one, Kevin.
If they play that, with the scoreboard where it is, we probably will.
Slår den här. Den går ju alltid ut. Det är ju risk att den går neråt så, men man får ju bort den här situationen.
Säg att jag träffar den här med halvträff. Det är frågan hur mycket fart den här får. Men det är risk att man bara petar den hit.
Inte nice om den kommer in bakom gården.
Nej.
Det är lite risk att den bara om man skulle toucha där och så sitter den där.
So they're worried they may not get any reds out of the rings.
Kunna vara röd, gul och nästan gå över här.
Det är jäkligt tunn, va?
Ja. Den behöver träffa röd först i sådana fall.
Fjärdedel nästan då.
Eller ett spett på chappen. Det finns inte en chans att den är kvar då.
I think that rock, the one Nick just tapped, I think it would go out of the house if you hit half rock hard.
On the left of the red one on the left.
Right, just blasted. I think one would be gone.
Det är nästan bara bra om den fortsätter in hit någonstans så länge den inte chappar ut den då, men då är den öppen i alla fall.
Kanske är dragningen då, eller?
Ja, det går ju att dra ner efter.
Nick is thinking that the middle one would come through but might just take out the yellow shot rock.
Hade ni någon klocka på den?
Nej, men Niklas...
They are talking about the draw as well. Draw to the back one.
That's a pretty good play. Draw to the back one, then you're sitting first, second, and third, and Team Japan has a lot of rocks that would need to be moved.
Look around the rings. Netherlands up 3-2. And the U.S. in a battle 3-3 there on sheet C. And there's the playoff picture on the left-hand side. I said the only real question there is Team USA. With a win, they'd play Switzerland. With a loss, they'd play Scotland. Interesting for both of those teams as well, Switzerland and Scotland. The Team Canada quarterfinal will be played this evening. So Scotland and Switzerland are keeping their shoes at the ready in case they have to come over to the rink for the 7 p.m. local time draw.
Certainly a bit odd. to not know.
Well, 6 teams in the playoffs. One thing, nothing's been settled yet, I suppose. But yes. Yeah, Canada knows they play tonight, and USA knows they play tomorrow. That's all.
Right.
There
Correct.
are 2 teams waiting to see what they need to do.
8秒とかでこれのヒットロール。
今もうさ、2取っとけばさ、一発でワンツーは取れるよね。
Japan's only got 3 rocks to come, so they're going to need to start moving some yellow ones around.
I certainly like this this bump on the red with about good board or something, and try to have the reds line up on the onto the shot rock. My first thought.
1回で外についてくれたらキーのダブルからの下
By hitting that red on the nose,
入れて追わせてちょっと
could end up
形で
really
作り
good.
たいところで前の
You'd lose the yellow on the right at the top.
And all reds would stay.
中も含めて
And hopefully the reds, the shooter and the red impact would line up straight at shot rock,
あと2つ必要こっちの
which I kind of
見え
think
て
it
る部
would.
分から一発でいけない
こっち？
半分見えてる
Looking at the double on the yellows, or the freeze to the back, but freeze to the back.
出るのが一番いいけどね。
Yeah, Japan has to remember they only have 2 rocks left after this one. So to remove 3 yellows with only 2 stones, and Nicodine gets to throw another one.
Right. So
Almost impossible to make any of those reds count with this call.
yeah, Nick gets to throw 2 more, plus there's 3, so you've got to take out 5
With your last
with
2.
your last 2 to make the reds count. So
And right now there's no easy doubles.
this is really tight.
もうちょっと離したいちょっと離したい
And that won't help the cause.
Men att man inte kan göra trippel med att skjuta rätt ner liksom.
Nadine will just roll in off this wide one, I think.
Ja, frågan hur vi
And
vill
bump
bygga
things
in
around a little bit. Right now it's a fairly easy double by raising the center red one back.
Try to create some separation between the yellows. Is that the idea?
Yeah, try to bump things around a bit and make the double a little more difficult. Right there is where they want the yellow to end up.
Jag tror en 10-0 halvträff är ganska bra, så man tar sidan men ligger liksom där.
Den här lär vi flytta sig 5 cm då kanske? Ja. Ja, kör det.
Gillar du normal bättre för att flytta ut den längre?
Vi kan köra normal också. Vicka in där ligger vi ändå 4.
Så med normal.
Ja. Börjar han slå någonting här borde vi kunna få en dubbel i alla fall. Ja.
Normal halvträff.
Okej.
Försöka trycka lös den sista gula så man inte kan skjuta på trippeln liksom.
Ja. Dryg normal.
Lite hård Auge. Vänta.
Höger 8. 9-0.
Out-turn and roll here from Team Nadine.
Ekes.
Try to roll and then up a bit.
Bra.
It's exactly where Nick wanted to roll. Now there's
Låga
9-2.
really sure there's
9.
much of a double.
Såg ut som den drog lite direkt i handen. Men sen var det lugnt.
Ja, så jag tänkte att den kändes nästan som
It's kind of been a common theme with this team as we take a look in at RCF Denmark. Live look for Mikkel Kraus's final stone. You don't see many yellow Denmark stones in there, Kevin.
No, troublesome straight back double needed. This is
For the blank. And that'll buzz by, and that'll be another steal for RCF. They'll go up 5-2 at the break. One of those weeks for Kraus and his teammates from Denmark. Now let's have a snack. Says Glukov. Easy game.
boy, playing well.
I was just going to say, Kevin, you know, Team Japan is a little, just maybe one shot late in recognizing when they need to move stuff around. And
right. There's just not quite enough time now to deal with the issues.
Pretty good effort there. But how do you get rid of the two yellows that are left? Very nice.
Don't quite have enough enough shots left. Freeze to the back one.
Om man spelar här.
Ja.
Den finns inte tror jag.
Nej, den finns inte. Den är ju, skulle den finnas så är den max för 2 också.
Träffen i sig är ju för tunn så den kommer in.
Well, Nick's thinking, if I don't throw right now, what does Japan have?
Eller garda den ser jag. Jag tror inte han har någon skjutning här
They
heller.
could probably
Could guard.
Alltså slashen är ju det
Ja, man kan skjuta typ här på
Alltså
tunt
den
med en
här är
clearing.
ändå inte lätt.
Det är väl den här han har för 3 kanske.
Rasmus is looking at the yellow directly. Shooter will go
Alltså den
flying
här
out.
ska ju dessutom gå över den där bak.
He might have a shot for 2 there. Go yellow.
Dessutom så tror jag den dragas att gul går rätt neråt också om man skulle sätta
throw
den
another
här minitunna då.
Stone in the
Vilken
rings.
gardar vi då eller drar vi någonstans?
Freeze to the back, red. That
Jag tycker det känns som att han slashen är det enda han har för
solve
2.
that.
Gardar vi den då?
Tycker jag.
Ja.
Ja, det gör det.
Garda utsidan. Lite mer än kant 12. Ta samma is som jag hade på dig
Or
nu.
guard that slash. That's the other option. So the only shot that Japan would have for 2 right now is hit the yellow on the left in the 8-foot circle, hit a quarter of a rock onto the one in the 4-foot. Hopefully it misses the stone at the back for 2. So they're going to guard that. I don't see anything else there for 2.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I do not.
Känns nära.
Han var lite lång faktiskt.
Nej, bra fart.
Nära.
Linjen
Nej,
är
lugn
lugn.
då.
Hake,
Linjen är bra.
hake,
Haken nära.
hake.
Tror inte för långt så han kan skjuta på den
Här
här.
då.
Och lite
Nej,
köl.
Den är inte
Hake.
så lång.
Linjen är bra, den kommer kalla upp.
That will take away
Ja,
Va?
the slash double.
Tog toa.
It's gone. A hit and stay down the middle is the shot. There just is nothing else. They were looking around at all the different options and possibilities, but there just simply aren't any. So hit and stay.
Just finding in an uphill battle here as they throw their final stone. And in number 5, that's Murrow. Just a hit for 1. Sweeper's going to have to go on this to back it out. Working hard. I don't think so. That is going to roll too far, and it will be a steal of 1. Nick Dean in full control. 7-1 through 5. Take a look at some of the highlights in the first half of the game. First end, big mistake for Matsumura on his last. Playing a hit, did not bump it out of the rings far enough and left Team Adine with a hit for 3. You cannot afford to give the 2-time reigning world champions extra points. And that was a good start for Sweden, bad start for Team Japan, and this was probably Japan's best end here in the first half. Really made a nice freeze. 2 great shots from Matsumura to cut down the scoring area, but it was always looking like a couple of points for Team Sweden, and Nick Adine makes no mistake with a difficult draw for 2. And number 4, all Sweden again. Beautiful hit and roll from Nick Adine.
This double we looked at, it looked pretty flat, but end up over curling, but made contact. So that certainly was there. Just had to keep that just a little bit straighter, but ends up being another steal of 1. 6-1 at this point. And now the hit and stay. They looked at every possible option to try to get more than 1. Decide, nope, we've got a hit for 1. Does not get out to the broom. They pound this thing from end to end, but cannot hold it. And another point. 7-1 now. Team Sweden.
As we look around the rink, Netherlands up 3-2 on Italy over there on sheet A. RCF continuing their stellar play. They're up 5-2 on Denmark at the break. And US and Korea in a battle. 3-3 at the 5th end break.
Doesn't matter to me. It's if you don't want to, that's fine. It's probably, we're 7-1.
Yeah, 1 more in.
So.
Och så är väl ifall jag eller du blir skadad så kommer man få någon av skipprollerna. Det blir bra. Där var en kaffe till mig. Har du lag eller?
2 minuter.
It's a decent percentage for Team Sweden through 5 ends heading into the playoffs. 97% as a team. Up 7-1 at the break. Seems to make sense. What a performance here in the as they get ready for the semifinals.
Hårt! Kom igen, fortsätt!
Little lineup change here for Team Sweden as alternate Daniel Magnusson comes into play for Christopher Sundgren. Get the 21-year-old little game time. He just likes throwing it through here in 6.
Yeah, a little nerves.
A little extra adrenaline. Didn't want to throw the guard by mistake.
Oh, it's exciting. It's good.
Shinyabe 93 in this game as well. Good performance.
Line's good. Line's good. Okay. 16.1.
I did mention that Freddie Lindbergh and Maria Pritz were out throwing rocks this evening. Also, alternates from all the teams would be throwing, so this is not the first rock. Despite the depth of that first draw that Daniel would have thrown this week, he comes out in the evenings and is really an important part of matching the stones.
But that would have been the first one he's thrown where his heart is pounding like crazy.
That's right. It's pretty exciting. Get into the game here.
That's a better one, right in the top 4 foot.
Another guard on the opposite side this time for Team Japan in the 5-rock rule. Team Sweden still can't hit that until the next one that comes into play. Bring another one in the rings. And here's Christopher Sundgren getting out some snacks. Let's see what he's got in that magic bag. Put his shoes on.
Yeah, get comfortable. Watch the rest of the game.
Ja, det räcker. Okej, den är ner emot. Liten dutt. Vill vi ta ett här på cornern eller? Ja, topp 4. Ja. Ja. Hårt. Ja, ja. Ingen soffa. Okej, det är bra så. Ja, dåligt bedömt.
Trying to play the freezer. That out turn seemed to be hanging a little straighter after the break, but we'll see some hits now from Vrano and Eriksson.
Nej men ja. Gå. Gå. Manche. ちょっと待って。ちょっと待ってよ。ちょっと待ってよ。てっちゃん。ウェイト。オッケー。オッケーだな。イエス。イエス。イエス。イエス。もうちょい。もうちょい。もうちょい。14.6。
And see a few peels now for Team Sweden.
Yeah, just try to keep things open as much as possible. Of course, it's not easy to do with the 5-rock rule.
Tried to make the double. 98 through the first half for Rasmus. We saw that stat at the break, Kevin. 97% as a team at the 5th end break. I don't know if I've seen it. I certainly haven't seen a number that high this week.
No, we haven't.
Close.
No, they're getting tuned up and ready.
Yes. まだ隠れてないよ。Yes. いいよ。クリーン。
That's a good guard.
Gå in i den. Ja. Det var lite tillbakaläggningar. 60. Okej.
We get a little speed trap on this one. 5.9 hog to hog.
And those aren't overly fast for these guys. Like, it's just comfortable.
Cruising speed.
Yeah, just comfortable throw.
So next time you're on the ice, anyone watching, just try to get moving fast enough as a sweeper to go between the hog lines in under 6 seconds.
And just see how fast that is.
See how fast that is.
And don't hurt yourself.
That's right. Put a helmet on. Do not for the faint of heart, that exercise. And I said the beauty of it really when you watch them play is how easy it is for them. That's going to overcurl a little.
And just a little bit too tight. We'll open up the raise double.
Oscar, a bit of a slouch this game, only at 93.
The low man on the team.
The low man on the team through 5.
Yep. Yep.
Looks good. Good throw.
That one had a little more steam on it. That was excellent. Talked a little bit about Vrano sweeping. Look how he gets right up on his toes. So again, do that 6-second drill and then do it sweeping as hard as you can. Same speed. Elite level hand-eye coordination and balance.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Trying a freeze here to create a little pocket back there. Pretty good shot. Clearing weight again, coming from Nicodine.
Clearing weight.
Clearing.
Let's pick this one out.
Yeah, try to hit about half stone and avoid that one at the back of the 8-foot.
Yep.
98 through 5 ends. Oh, where do you go? Try to freeze that back one now, Kevin?
I think that's the only choice you've got, is, but don't freeze right on the face. Try to freeze a little bit.
You see Daniel holding the broom for Nicodine on that peel. Matsumura 68 this game. So it started with that miss in the first end. Give Team Sweden an extra point. Been an uphill battle ever since. Line's okay. Just a touch heavy. Bounces off. Another clearing weight shot coming. The weight had been a little better, would have curled out a couple of inches and made it a little more difficult on Team Sweden.
Makes sense, Daniel holding the broom with how hard these rocks are coming down. If you're not used to sweeping at that speed, could really be quite dangerous. Got to move this back a little. Got a piece of center line already.
Amazing sweeping there from Rasmus Vrano. Good sweeping, little fist bump there from the skipper. Thank you.
That had a piece of center all the way down the sheet and got by.
So draw for one here for Matsumura. A nice line again. And that will be right to the button for a single. 7-2 and coming over for handshakes. 6 ends. Yuta has had enough. What a performance by the two-time defending champions. Said they're in full flight heading into the playoffs. They're going to be tough opponents for anyone they face. 7-2. Easy victory for Team Sweden. Well, after that game is wrapped up, let's head over to sheet C. United States taking on Korea. There are 2 stones left to play here. And number 6, John Schuster, just made a beautiful freeze. Around a corner guard. The Koreans looking for some sort of hit, maybe, to eliminate something red, one of the red U.S. counters. Regardless of what they decide to, it's going to be a tricky shot. Skip Young Seok Jong in the hack. So he's trying to hit that stone that was thrown by Schuster. Kick one out of play. Try to hold the U.S. to 2 here in the 6th. And very good shot. John Young-suk had a great performance. I said earlier this week, did beat Canada in the round robin. We'll take that positive performance home. They'll have to be going to that Olympic qualifying event in the fall with the rest of the teams not in the playoffs. John Schuster now. Draw for 2. Take the lead into end number 7.
I got there.
It's a little light. Hard, guys. Keep dragging it.
Need the 8-foot for 2.
Keep dragging it. Need full 8-foot. Dig, Matt. Good. I quit squaring that damn thing. I had to start throwing. I was just nervous because I was flying again. I didn't baby it. No. I threw it dead squared on me.
It was good enough, John, for 2 here in end number 6. Take a 5-3 lead into the 7th.
2 pistols by Mr. Plies to get us that deuce again. Actually, everybody made good shots on that end.
Yeah.
Get a force deuce here. Be in a really good spot.
Yeah.
Seventh end underway here as we've moved sheets over to Team USA taking on Korea on sheet C. Nice 2 there from John Schuster. You heard him commenting to his teammates. We all made good shots there in end number 6. So
We look away.
much like Team Sweden, they're trying to just maintain the momentum they've picked up over the week. Don't want to come out flat here on
Look at that guy.
last round robin game.
Use you guys for a lick. Yeah. Really? Okay.
And Korea down 2. Going to hit this one at the back forfeit. You heard John Schuster say, really? Okay. So see if you maybe exchange some hits here in 7.
Yeah, try to get your 2 and 8, I guess, is the thinking.
We'll see if John throws a guard now, knowing that they'd like to force. Yeah, a tight one now. So they're going to change gears. Makes sense.
Yeah, no, you don't want this one very long, though.
Line's good. 3.
2, 3.
I don't think we get. Oh, we could probably get
that. 15-9. Should never be in. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yep. Yep.
It's better. That'll force Korea into throwing a draw as we head over to Denmark RCF. Denmark with the hammer. Looks like they got an angle tap here for 1 or 2 maybe. Kev?
Yeah, it looks a pretty good opportunity here, but about a half rock, hack weight for. It looks like the red will slip past. Just hit it too thin.
Misswept a little.
Yeah.
Looks like they were waiting for that to curl and never did.
So
been that kind of week for Denmark.
Steal of 1.
6-2 Denmark, or excuse me, RCF leads. Heading to end number 7. Beautiful draw thrown by Korea. Right to the top of the forefoot. As Matt Hamilton gets underway.
I like the weight on the hand. Probably always Chris, though. Yep. Fine. Hard.
It's not heavy.
Hard, fellas. Hard. We got to bounce.
Coming over to the guard. Bounce it so you can raise it later.
Right.
That's usable.
Thought that was the fast rock.
11.
살짝 뒤에도 괜찮아 이건.
Matt just conferring with John Landsteiner. What weight did you get from me there? They do split timing on this team. Park Se-won, the second,
네, 웨이트만요. 5
25 years old.
Oh, right loop. Whoa.
웨이트 가야 돼. 웨이트 약하면 와.
웨이트만,
라인 여유
웨이트만.
있긴 해요.
웨이트만.
그냥 와. 라인은 민국이 형 라인. 민국이 형 라인.
민국.
같이 와도 돼. 같이 와도 돼.
계속 가야 돼. 더 가야 돼. 더 가야 돼.
헐 돼, 형. 각이 너무 좋아. 각이 너무 좋아.
Ended up right beside it.
Left a pocket, so Matt Hamilton will be excited about the run back opportunity here as we look around the 4 sheets. See, our feature game was on sheet D. It's now vacant. 7-2 win for Sweden. And in our game we're covering now, see USA 9-3. If they are able to win this game, they will finish alone in 3rd place. They will take on the 6th place team, which would be Switzerland in the quarterfinals. If they lose, they'll drop into a 3-way tie with Canada and Scotland. And they would end up playing Scotland in the quarterfinal matchup tomorrow morning.
You gotta hit the other one first.
So just will change who they play. And who, what bracket they fall into will also change a little bit depending on what RCF does as well, win or loss how the seeding works in the top 6.
Okay, see.
Nice run back there from Matt Hamilton after come around was made, left the pocket.
Okay.
So Chris Plies looking for a roll buried. Said USA definitely would like to force Korea into taking one here.
Clean. Clean. Whoa, whoa. Steiner. Hard, Steiner. Hard. Whoa. Wow.
They were actually playing that the other way, trying to roll towards the center. Had to make that curl to get off the corner guard.
Just about got a piece of the guard, yes.
여기서는 80, 7, 80. 80. 7, 80. 사이드 콘.
사이드 컴 괜찮아 보여. 오케이. 네.
Well, Korea abandoning the blank option here by ignoring these rocks and go around the corner. Kim Jung-min, 29-year-old, throwing third stones.
The line looks good, but it looks like it's got plenty of weight.
Go, Johnny, go. Right under the center.
Yeah. We're shot.
Chance to ignore that stone at the back of the 12-foot now for Team USA and apply some pressure. Going down to thirds, last stones here. Chris Plies looking to get one into the top of the 4-foot.
Felt all there.
7.
Clean though.
6,
We haven't
7.
been out this far.
6.
Yep. Yep, line.
I know it.
Just Steiner then. Hard.
You don't really want to have this over curl. Come out the other side.
Go ahead. Yep, yep. It's never math though.
Easy.
Oh, that did
Easy.
not go far.
That's very good. No choice but to play the run back.
Good call on the track. Definitely slower. Yeah, I mean, I had a 95, and it looked like you had a good bump.
Yeah, I gave it a pretty good stab.
90. 90, yeah, good job.
Trying to open up the middle here, make the double roll the shooter out of the way.
He's curling though.
Shot.
Oh, missed the back one.
Not bad.
No, not bad. I was worried it might end up knocking the yellow out of the back 12, but missed it. No problem.
Well, then he can draw for shot though. It almost has to be here, truthfully. Like, I think if it's here.
If it curls a little more, that red catches the back yellow.
Shot. Shot. Nice. Yeah. I mean, we go here.
So you're John Schuster
Small
talking
window.
to Chris Plies. They're
I
looking
know,
at going around the corner guard, but that will leave a run back and stay buried for Korea. So election to go open.
Smaller going to the middle, is it, really?
I do like this call going to the open side.
I mean, I have to be full 4-foot to even help us. But
I mean, if you like this way, we can.
no, I like this. I like this. I don't like going under.
What would the other option be here, Kevin?
like
Maybe
going under?
try to go half buried around that yellow,
It's the only way we set up a
but
free for 'em.
deep enough where there's no
Well,
double.
that's the problem, is that if you come up a little bit heavy, it's no good. They freeze to you. They come up a little light, they play the run double, sitting too buried.
That way if they roll under there,
That's
I
why
can freeze
this is the
safer
safer
call.
the safest call.
you guys at 400 are.
3 definitely not an option by playing this shot for Korea. As long as we can get this to the tee
Pretty
line.
good positive though, so careful.
Line's good. 6. 6,
Good
7.
John say the problem is
All you
if
guys,
they're not in the
over curl a
4-foot,
little bit,
Korea's
always
probably
match.
going to go round.
Right. You want to be very close to the 4, and it looks like
14-6.
line's pretty good here. It might get a piece of the side of the 4-foot, maybe. The ice curls so much.
That's good. That's good. Good shot.
And here's the come around. John expected that, but you can't argue the logic that he used to make his call.
With the scoreboard, what it is.
6. 도와줘? 아니야, 괜찮아.
Jung Young Suk, the intern draw.
7, 8,
라이트 타이트한데.
8,
라이트 타이트하다.
7.
라이트 타이트해.
있어요, 웨이트 있어.
타이트해. 고고고고고.
Really diving towards the guards. Just by. Wow.
That'll likely over curl the edge of the forefoot spot. Oh.
오케이.
Good shot.
Shot, maybe.
Shot.
Looks like
너무 셌다.
What? I think it's us, actually.
Go a half inch too far.
I think, yeah.
Oh, doesn't
That was a
change
good
the
try,
shot.
though.
Red, but
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. So he had room. He kind of threw that here. I think I can safely throw it there because this can be anywhere high side and we're fine, right?
Yeah, anywhere, just touching the 4.
Yeah. Just make sure we get by.
Yeah.
Almost out to the edge of our rock. Yep. Did you guys get a hog? I got a 14-1 on that.
I had 13-8, but I was probably a little off.
The sweepers conferring with the skip about what the weight is to
Let's
throw.
get in there, right?
I think so.
So Pierce's sheet may be a touch slower than the one we just watched. 14-1, 14-2 to the hog, or excuse me, hog to hog for draw weight. Rock
Got room.
on its
Easy.
way.
Got a 6-7 now.
Lots
Easy.
of room.
It's heavy.
Easy, it's
8-9.
heavy. Stay with it though. Just stay with it.
Trying to come down.
Lots of
I know.
room.
Just stay with it though.
Stay close, Matt.
Still there.
14-2.
It's
Go
still
ahead, Matt.
Steiner actually.
Steiner.
Perfect.
Good, 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 good.
Really well done.
That was a scary one.
I came down.
Draw for one here for Korea. Nothing else available.
That was well thought out by Team USA, that whole play.
Final rock of end number 7. Put a clock on this. You heard 14-2 from Team USA sweepers. Got right to the tee line.
다 들어오면 돼.
세 보이는데.
세 보이는데.
세 보여.
This is
13-9.
plenty.
A little warmer.
하나, 둘, 셋.
This is plenty.
Go, Chris, go.
Chris, every inch.
아, 미안.
And that is too deep, and that will be a steal of 2, it appears.
Just measure for 2. Okay.
이게 메이저. 이게 같은데.
It does look like red, though, from the overhead.
Earlier in the week. we got-
Disappointing draw
Looks like that's from here.
for Team Korea.
Such a close game all the way through, and then to miss 4 foot.
Yeah, dude. Throwing up shade immediately.
I didn't write the song.
To be fair, I did the same thing in Lincoln Park. He erased himself.
Oh, sorry.
Almost halfway around the dial. And it is red indeed, so that will be a steal of 2 for John Schuster and his Team USA. They'll lead 7-3 after 7 ends.
Yep. Right.
6-5-3.
Yeah.
6-5.
Eighth end underway at the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021. Mike Harris along with Kevin Martin as we get down to the last few ends here of round robin play in this championship. Kevin, the cream seems to have risen to the top as basically all the teams that you would have expected in the playoffs are certainly there, and
5-6-4.
Team USA taking advantage of a miss there to kind of solidify their hold on this one.
Yeah, it's a big steal of 2. Good shooting by John Schuster to put the pressure on, to go open side, and then the perfect freeze. Put a little bit of pressure on Team Korea skip. Came up just a little heavy. But you're right, the teams that you would consider the more experienced, stronger teams, you can see their play is getting better and better as we go forward into this World Championship. As such an unusual year, most of the teams haven't played much before coming into the bubble. And most are starting to get to their mid-season form, if you will.
Well, certainly, you know, Scotland, Sweden, Switzerland, USA, and Canada, of course. Those 5 teams, all very experienced. And then that last spot, really, you weren't sure was who was going to be, but I'm not sure many of us had RCF at the top of our list. Norway, Italy, Japan, all certainly were on the radar coming in as we look at the lead matchup at lead. USA winning that battle by 11%. And of course, Norway has to just feel awful about the way their week ended earlier today. Came in 7-1 middle of the week, ended up 7-6. One more win somewhere along the way would have helped as we tune into RCF Denmark, and guess what? RCF lying 2 on the button. Another tough shot here from Mikkel Kraus.
Try to squeak one in there closer to the button.
Yep. Tuna working hard.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine there's room in there. Needs to get by. Does. Oh, what a terrific shot.
Excellent draw.
It's all the room there was.
Mikkel's
Nice try, buddy.
had a tough week.
Take my job.
And Glukov just looking as casual as ever. Moving his way into the semifinals. He will definitely be playing for a medal on Sunday. Seen a few Russian women's teams over the years coming in and doing quite well. I think Sidorova, Kovaleva, both excellent teams, but not many in the men's program.
I think we've found one.
But not many have threatened the top teams.
Straight up.
Little fist bump from Matt Hamilton. Matt's a social butterfly out there, moving.
He's busy.
Player. He's a busy guy. That's right.
Hardsteiner.
Trying to get a piece here. This is a little bit wide.
We scraped the first one. Oh,
That's actually a 0.
-8.
Oh man, I slid so tight and then thought I had to pop it.
Sorry. I thought you slid perfect and then you
Yeah, it
popped
probably was.
Despite that throw, 86% through the first 7 ends. That won't help his numbers, total numbers, but as I said, we never really have to listen for too long to know how Matt's doing out there. So he'll always fill us in.
Oh, a chance to come around again here.
괜찮아 보여. 괜찮아 보여. 괜찮아 보여.
정민이 형.
Looks good too.
Excellent draw. Now the U.S. is in a bit of trouble here.
There's no way to keep all three, I don't think so.
Okay.
Try the run back.
Run back on the nose should get rid of 2. I suppose it's possible to get rid of all 3, but that's incredibly difficult.
Yep. Hard.
On that early.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Watch the back right.
Watch out, run.
I know. I went thin so we'd go over top of it.
Need to be aware of where all the rocks are. You saw Chris Plies on release there. Try to get that rock out to the broom. Just must have slid a little bit tight.
3, 2, 3.
Team Korea just a couple of guards away. And watch the release here. Watch his hand at the end. He felt like he wasn't out to the broom, tried to move it back. And
good heads-up play by John Schuster, though, not to jam the back red.
둘, 셋. 라인만 맞아, 여기서. 둘.
user error on that one.
둘. 둘. 둘, 둘, 둘. 둘, 왜 좋아? 셋.
Hey, trying to throw the perfect guard here.
오케이. Yep, yep. 오케이, 됐다, 됐다.
굿샷.
May have left the intern side open a little.
You got how much of this one you got?
It's like a piece.
Piece and a bigger piece of that one, obviously, right? But that goes there, so same.
Try that run back again. Really nice game for Chris Plies heading into the playoffs. 93% through 7 ends.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
It's a much better throw.
Shooter. Boy, Chris.
How about that?
Nice shot, buddy.
Wow.
Get rid of all 3.
Impressive.
Shot, Chris. Holster that pistol. No open carry in Canada.
Watch
Chris.
his release this time. Right up the broom. No, no wishful movement at the end, and great result. Couldn't have drawn it up any better.
It's good. 라인만 맞아. 라인 업! 민국이야, 넷! 민국. 왼치야. 넷!
It takes the really big end out of the mix now for Korea. Still have a good chance here to get a couple.
좀더 헐. 오케이.
샷.
So finishing at 86 for
Maybe even a
Kim
third.
Jong-min. That's also a good
That's
number.
fine.
Okay, this one, you know. What's that?
I'll throw something.
I mean, it would be great too, but
Didn't
you
quite finish
definitely
enough.
risk the jam way
See.
more trying to get to nose than you do just
Well,
like hitting the
can't see
nose.
much of it, but you see almost skinny half.
Throw a solid hack.
Yeah. Looks like you got third to me, so
Yeah, I got
plenty of rock.
We just got to get it over the top. That's all back there.
Yeah.
Just got to be aware of that back stone. Try not to jam it on the stone of the back 12.
Weight's good.
Yep, hard.
Drop that line, buddy. Come on. Come on, right there. Hard! Come on.
This is getting really, really close.
Whoa! Rack it!
It's not getting any out on it.
다섯만.
It's not going that way.
너무 못 빼가 아니야?
Run better.
근데 잘 들어가도 더블이 너무 쉽다. 그러니까.
It's that self-awareness that's so important for the top-level players. 84 for John through 7 ends, but when I say self-awareness, Kevin, you can speak to this as well. If you're sliding a little narrow, you know it as a player, and if you need to move it back. You saw Chris Plies tried to move his back, and John just said, I'm just not getting that movement back like I'm used to getting, and he'll try to improve that when he comes back out on the ice for the playoff games. As Korea calls a timeout.
거기까지 근데 더블이 나온다. 근데 그걸 유도해야 될 것 같아.
Where do you go here, Kevin?
Well, you have to go around the middle. You have no choice.
이 상황에서.
You're 4 down. You've got to try for 3 points here.
뭐가 괜찮아 리제?
일단 드로우 방향밖에 없지 않아요?
You might even go back for to entice
그거밖에 안 보이는데?
a freeze.
트리플랜도 있으니까 약해도
See if he falls for it.
그냥 뒤로만
It's worth a try. Act mad when you go back for, as if you weren't trying to.
That's funny. Usually, when you're playing teams you're familiar with, you always say things just loud enough for them to hear. In this case, the language barrier is going to get in the way of that little tactic. So
that's true.
이길 것 같은데요?
Gosh, I'd hate to go back here and then throw it there on purpose. One of those. But
그럼 그때 보자. 어쩔 수 없이. 차라리 일단 조는 여기다. 11 정도 잡아.
I don't think John Schuster's going to fall for it. 4 up here in the 8th end.
He can see almost all of the Yellowstone to
happy to peel that out.
To rip it out. Yes.
웨이트만 잘 봐줘.
4초로 가자.
라인콜 계속 해줘야 돼. 라인콜 끝까지 해줘. 네, 오케이. 뒤에서 라인콜 할게요. 뒤에 라인콜.
약한 것만 없으면 됐다. 4초.
라인스 끝.
8, 9.
민구일 거야. 라인스 끝.
8, 9.
계속 민구일 거야. 야.
9.
야, 민구야.
8.
Guards coming at them pretty quick here. Just light more than anything.
좀 약했어. 8.
8까지 갔을 것 같아.
Okay.
Oh, the pick we played, I would imagine.
You want it? Yeah, I'll take it.
Make it go away. Force the single.
Probably have to carve it. Just kidding.
Not the way I've been throwing this intern today. Highly unlikely. I can see the whole rock, but I feel pretty good about this.
Just make it go away.
Yep. Hard.
No, just trying not to jam the back is the only big concern.
Well, thick side.
Oh boy.
That was dirty.
Thank you. Saved him.
Hard to hit that on the nose at that speed.
Fun to watch. That even curling. Hard.
You notice that Matt Hamilton took the inside there on that intern side. Again, John Landsteiner taking a bit of a rest again.
Oh boy.
That was dirty.
Saved him.
Not not Matt's natural side. As the weeks rolled on, more KT tape on all the players and a little more stiffness and soreness. As we see the last rock here in end number 8 on its way. This is a hit against 4. Don't know if that hung on or not. That may have rolled too far, Kevin.
Yeah, it looks like maybe one red. It's pretty close.
You can take a look, man. I think it's yellow.
I think it's red. I'd measure
Okay.
it.
Measure.
Let's measure it again for good.
2 measures in a row. Oh yeah, this line throws it off, but it's.
I think the slide
This
pass.
This is a pretty easy shot.
Yeah.
Just a little heavier than maybe they needed. That's close.
I can stop. We got one.
I wouldn't mind taking a break.
You have your mask, Chris?
Oh,
no,
I
don't
don't.
It is.
You want one, Chris?
I trust her.
I'll go in there. Heck with it.
There you go.
With the COVID protocol, when the officials are out measuring, the athletes need to wear a mask. Chris's mask is all the way at the other end. So John had one in his pocket. 2.1, you heard her say. Just touched it, so it is red indeed, and it's another steal for Team USA. They'll be up 8-3 here after 8 ends of play. And that'll be enough for Korea. Team USA moving into the playoffs on a roll. They will secure third place in the round robin portion. And we'll get Switzerland tomorrow morning in their quarterfinal.
That might be the first time U.S. teams won 10 games in a round robin in World Championship history. We also had a couple
Heard John Schuster say first time you won 10 games in the round robin and third overall.
Hi, kids.
Actually, let's shake it. Round robin's over.
Well, as the sheets fall by the wayside, we were on D, we were on C. Now we're going to go over to sheet B. RCF up 4, playing the 9th end against Denmark. RCF throwing red. Line 1 buried, top of the button, and throwing.
Trying to make the double peel.
Сип. И до конца. Сип. Сип, 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 Даня.
I hit that one a little bit too close to the nose, a little bit thick. It's a chance to come around now.
This is second final stone here for Denmark with the hammer. Skip Mats Nørgaard throwing second. Playing the out turn. They experimented this morning with him playing lead, throwing lead stones. That didn't work. Back to second.
Back to second, yeah.
Kasper Viksten was throwing second stones this morning.
Yeah, Kasper played a really good second when he had the opportunity. Yeah, that's a good come around. That's buried.
Сип. Сип, Даня. Тягивай, тягивай, тягивай. Свой, мужики. Свой ролл, свой ролл, свой ролл.
Постоянно просишь по луже и постоянно так попадаешь.
Yeah, leaving a double corner on the other side here now. Might be a chance to come around again for Denmark.
I would think so. 4 down. I don't think you would want to hit anything like that.
If you go around the corners, they'll hit the open one, might leave you double to lie buried. Another okay move would be to guard that stone, but this is a very high degree of difficulty to play this hit and roll.
The thing is, you've got that double corner. You don't want to waste it. You don't get those very often. And
you may never get a chance to use it.
Right. Go around there twice, and then try your best to knock out the rocks, score 3 or 4.
And roll for a corner guard. Hey, the run back, which is okay, but you've exposed your shot stone now. And no other rocks in the rings.
Right. Really wanting 3 points, but there's only 3 to come.
Сип. Сип. Внимание. Нет. Все, это просто стой, Окей.
Димон, как у тебя так пил свалился?
try it now. Again, they're checking to see whether they'll be shot zone. It's really not that important at this point, whether they're shot rock or not. Just get it buried.
Right.
Just take your chances.
Lidt lang. 8 bag.
Et stik. Masser af plads.
8 bag.
Masser af plads.
8 bag.
Vi kan godt lade den køre.
Tæt på 12 bag.
Et stik.
Jeg kan godt tage den.
He's trying to slow down.
Kom. Yep.
Okay, der er plads til flere.
Дабл будет. Фриз это косой. Косой, да.
Freeze right down to it.
Вот так вот.
That would definitely hold Denmark to a maximum of 2.
Ну да, но я думаю, нам надо все-таки фриз сыграть.
28.
Если они туда, то мы будем.
Not super young for a skip, but as I said, he's kind of burst onto the scene here all of a sudden.
Yeah, he certainly got the whole world watching.
Пока шире.
Чуть шире.
Пока шире, ребят. О, нельзя, вообще
Шире,
нельзя
шире, шире.
линию. О. Пока нет. Окей.
Да,
проходим,
проходим.
Даня.
Свип, мужики.
Свип.
2 лучше сделай, 2 лучше.
Вот сюда.
Полностью белый. Сип, Дань.
Да, до конца.
Need to get to the 8-foot to be shot. That is coming up light, so that 3 back in the mix here now for Denmark with that not getting there for second stone.
Rulle den der. Du kan også rulle den derover. Ja. Hvis vi rammer tyndt, ikke? Så gør det jo ikke noget, du ruller der.
Hvor meget har jeg af hans? Ja. Du står helt derovre.
Well, certainly like to hit and roll now, because if you hit and roll and then some sort of an error, there's a split for 4. So you need to hit this one, and then maybe there would be a hack weight split. Be close.
Chip that yellow onto the one top 12 and roll in.
Correct. With about hack. Be very close. Need to make the roll first.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Sit. Whoa.
Right into the hole. Got caught in the middle there. Looking at playing the big weight double.
Have to be fairly close to that center guard to make that.
Can throw the out turn across the top.
Но если пойдет вдруг отваливать, то смотри, ролл.
Окей.
Maybe looking at the roll instead.
I think so.
Да.
Just hit and stay. Maybe roll either way a little bit and make the deuce difficult.
Well, if you roll, half a rock to the left as we're looking at it, Denmark would have to avoid their own at the back of the house there. He's throwing the heat here, Kevin. Overswept it a little. One more final in the books. Italy, very good week for Joel Returnaz and his team. 8-4. We thought maybe at the start of the week it would have been a dark horse pick for the playoffs, and except for RCF, it would have been a good pick for the playoffs. But I'm sure Joel and his team would be pleased with that performance. Had a chance right up to the last day as Denmark looks at this split, Kevin, that you were talking about. down 4. They really need to make the shot for 3.
Well, if you throw about hack weight at it, you can always make it for 2, and then you hope that the shooter rolls in. It'd be very close. You might need it to kind of give it one of those little spins in to get it.
Men jeg vil også sige, du skulle ramme der. Så ruller du.
3 minutter tilbage.
Er det bare at prøve på den?
Spil den. Hvad fart tænker du så? 11,5 hak? 12, 0?
Jeg tror, at 11,5 faktisk ikke er helt skidt.
Okay, så prøv det.
Og ikke fordi, men det er som om, den sluger lidt mere farten, når man lige kommer ned på det der.
Så prøver vi det. Det er okay.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Sure.
Not a whole lot of time left back there either for Denmark. 2:32 and counting. This isn't made, it won't matter. Final rock on the way here for Denmark here in the 9th end. Just had it over curl a hair, and that will only be 1.
Lidt smule tyndere. Marginal tyndere, så sådan skulle der være der.
7-4, RCF leads, and that will be enough. And we'll wrap up the round robin portion of this year's Men's World Curling Championships. Great performance by RCF. Looking sharp as they'll get a bye into the semi-final.
Я ничего не понял из этой игры, честно вам скажу.
And a tough week for Team Denmark, but these guys are for real. 7-4 win. Highlights of our feature matchup with Japan and Sweden. Started with Yuta Matsumura coming a little light on a hit here in the first, Kevin, and so you don't like giving Team Sweden an extra point, but it was no mistake made. Open with 3. And so we move into end number 3. After a good end by Japan in 2 and here in 3, if there's any doubt that Team Adine is sharp, this question was answered right here.
Yeah, beautiful out-turn draw after a terrific freeze by Yuta Matsumura, and now right to the side of the button. That's a big 2 points.
5-1 after 3 ends of play, after a couple of steals. Matsumura on his last stone here in 6, trying to draw the button. Down 7-1 at this point. Made it beautifully, but Team Sweden, 2-time defending world champions, just too much on this day for the Japanese champions. Wish them well into the playoffs and shake hands. Impressive performance from Team Sweden as they get ready for the semifinals.
Thank you. You got one of these. Thanks for the game. Good game. Thanks for the game. Thank you.
All 4 games here wrapped up. Italy, good performance this week, 8-4 win in their final round robin game. You saw RCF also ready for the semis, 7-4 over Denmark. USA, number 3 seed heading into the playoffs, beats Korea 8-3 in our feature matchup, 7-2 win for the 2-time world champions. As now we look at the final round robin standings, Sweden seeded number 1, RCF number 2. They'll play in the semifinals. It'll be USA taking on Switzerland tomorrow morning in the first quarterfinal, and Canada and Scotland also meeting each other tonight. Those are quarterfinals. I apologize, not semifinals, but the cream definitely rising to the top here in Calgary. Here is our playoff bracket as we see semifinal in the seedings. Sweden and RCF, as you mentioned, into they got a bye through that first round of playoffs. USA going to be taking on Switzerland. That will take place tomorrow morning. This evening's quarterfinal, teams 4 and 5, Canada will be taking on Scotland.
Well, Nick, really good game. Going into this one, you've already got a spot in the playoffs. So I'd like to hear from your point of view, what would your team's goals be today to prepare yourself going forward into the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think we've peaked yet. We've got a lot of wins on the board, which was the main thing in round robin, obviously. But I think we still have yet to peak, find our best games to play, and hopefully we can do that in the semifinals and finals if we make it there. And I think that was what we tried to do in this game as well. Just find the same kind of communication out there was the key, I think, and just be really focused on our shots.
Yeah, it's kind of an unusual year. You know, you're a team that generally plays a lot of games, but here you are in a World Championship, haven't played much this year. So I'd like to get into your mind a little bit on how to build, I guess, quicker than usual.
Exactly, yeah, I think it's a lot of mental preparation. I think we normally do that too, but I think it's just magnified this year. We haven't played much since October as a team, so tried to do more communication stuff in practice as well, but it's not the same obviously, but I think that has helped us a bit. And then just when we got here, just really tried to turn on quickly, and even from the first few games, just try and really talk through what we can improve between every game.
Well, I think you've done that, and congratulations on a great round robin, the game today, and good luck going forward into the semifinals.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Hey, thanks, Nick.
Well, that'll wrap up the round robin portion here at the BKT Tires and OK Tire World Men's Curling Championship 2021. Lots to be decided yet as the playoff round begins this evening. For Kevin Martin, this is Mike Harris saying goodbye for now. We'll catch you in the playoffs.
Oh, på handsken nu. Thank you. Good game.
Game. Thank you.